I'll call the meeting to order and request a motion to adopt the agenda for the special meeting of council. Blanchette and Salt. Okay. Are there any additions to the agenda at this time? No?
I can't see it, so I don't know.
Oh, you can't see it either?
No.
Okay.
I don't have one.
Okay. None of you can?
Mine's
right here. I haven't got one. I didn't have one when I checked last time.
All right, so could we have some printed off for
We will.
the councillors, please?
Excuse me.
Well, we did have a 15-minute intermission in order for councillors to be provided with agendas for the meeting. So I did not take a vote that council adopts the agenda for the April 2nd, 2015 special meeting of council. I'll take a vote now. And that was Blanchette and Salt that moved it. All in favor? Carried. All right, administrative report 4.1, establishment of assessment criteria to evaluate the responses to the Village of Valemount's request for proposal to conduct an organizational audit. The recommendation is that council approves the attached process and documents for evaluation of the proposal submitted in response to the Village of Valemount's request for proposals to conduct an organizational review. And it's open. I will take a motion for that, please. Blanchette and Torgerson. Now that's open for discussion, as well as any amendments which councillors want to recommend. And any questions or comments, please feel free. I should like to comment on process for RFP evaluation if council has no remarks, number 10 and 11. I should like to, as the mayor and chief executive officer of Valemount, I should like to do phone reference checks with the companies that they have given for reference.
Instead of paper.
Paper as well, but I want to phone them as well.
Reference checks.
And I will give the reference checks, I will phone their references, and I will bring a complete report to council.
10 and 11?
Yes,
10 and 11.
that's on page 4.
So they will be done with two people.
I don't have that.
I will phone them myself personally from my office.
I would strongly recommend two people. In any
Then I will choose. Then I will choose the councillor who's acting mayor for the month. So who's acting mayor for April? Blanchette. Okay, Councillor Blanchette.
Do you have another one of those?
You will have time to sit with me for a phone call to their reference checks.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Does that meet with your approval?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Councillor Rana?
That's fine.
Okay. So I would like the process for our RFP evaluation amended for numbers 10 and 11, that acting mayor for the month of April, Councillor Blanchette, sit in the office with me when we make the reference checks.
For number 11.
For number...
10 doesn't need amended.
Okay, number 11 then. And we will submit our comments to council for reading. Could I have a motion to amend that, please? Councillors Salt and Torgerson. All in favor of the amendment? Carried. Okay, it's still open for discussion and questions for the original motion. We've just passed the amendment.
Sorry, we're just catching up. We just got.
That's fine. Take your time. Councillor Blanchett, you'll give me your schedule, and I'll give you mine, and
Yours is more than mine.
we'll get it done prior to the 14th, one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I see some councillors busy typing, others busy writing.
So we're waiting to do the final
Yes,
approval of the process, correct?
that's right, that's right. And council, please just, councillors advise me when you're ready for the vote, or when you still want to make a copy.
So your worship, were you suggesting that we don't make this an eliminator criteria? Because it needs an amendment then as well.
Okay, only hard copy submitted. My concern is, what if the most qualified and highly scoring proponent did not submit one? I have a concern about that.
Because the reason we have that is because
Yes.
our proposal
Yes.
stated only hard copy submissions underlined. And
Okay.
our concern is
Okay.
if a proponent can't
Okay.
read those simple directions,
Okay.
they may not want to.
So were there submissions without the hard copy?
We have a submission, we have someone who submitted a hard copy and then emailed me a copy.
Oh, okay.
If that's what.
Okay.
It was my understanding that the
Yeah, it
decision
should
was
be
made.
hard copied, yeah.
Hard copied, so it was all opened at the same time. There was
Yeah.
no expectations.
Just emails.
Or, you know,
Just emails, that's right. Okay.
So all of the proponents have sent hard copies?
They've all sent hard copies. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Then we should be fine, right?
But what this is saying is, will we eliminate proponents that also submitted a soft copy? Because that soft copy was available to me. You guys have no idea whether I looked at it or not prior to
Okay.
this.
You know, if it's a hard copy and a soft copy, to me that shouldn't be eliminated.
Okay, that's up to you guys.
I don't know.
A point of order, though.
Okay.
In terms of the request for proposal, as the CAO has been pointing out, the request for proposal that was published stipulated that the documents were to be presented to the village as a hard copy only.
Okay.
And that they would-
Bold and underlined.
Okay.
Yeah, and so if a proponent has submitted material in an email form, then it could have been looked at by staff and before an envelope was unsealed. And so for that reason, and in order to be consistent with the RFP, the corporate officer would suggest strongly that that RFP be eliminated, that response to the RFP be eliminated.
Even though they submitted a hard copy as well.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's certainly, and it's also
right.
inconsistent with the express direction that was given by council.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Torgerson?
I believe it was by your request. Mr.
Yes.
President.
I don't remember saying only by hard copy, but I did want a hard copy and only hard copies to be brought to council and that's my fault, but that's okay. Councillor Reimer, I noticed did you have a comment on that?
Well, I'm wondering how open to interpretation that is, that we will accept only hard copy submissions, but it's not specifically spelled out that soft copies as well are not permissible. And that could be an argument.
Was an email address given?
Our email addresses are easy to find. on
Okay,
the
so,
website.
okay, well, but I'm saying like there wasn't an email given in this, so a soft copy shouldn't have.
So that could be open to interpretation as well.
That's right, and that's how I kind of feel about it too. Yeah, that if someone submitted a hard copy but also a soft copy, does that eliminate them? Did it specifically say that that would be eliminated?
It says.
I don't know. Okay.
Read it. Submission,
Okay,
let's see, hard copy.
okay.
No.
Will accept only hard copy submissions and should be delivered to the village office, that's correct. but it does not say that hard copies, that if there is an accompanying soft copy, it will be eliminated. And so, as you say, it's a matter of interpretation.
It's a matter of interpretation.
Yes.
Because it's
Why don't you
not
put it to a vote?
clearly,
Yeah. Another point of order. In responding to a request for proposal, if a determination is made by council, I'm not saying how this might go.
Okay.
But if a decision was made by council to support an application that had been submitted that was in some way inconsistent with the request for proposal,
Okay.
it could leave the village open to litigation.
Is that correct, Councillor Reimer? You know, the notaries are just one step below lawyers. So,
I don't get involved in litigation, so I won't make any comment with
Okay.
respect
All
to
right.
that
Okay.
possibility.
yeah, all right. I will let it go, but this teaches me to be more clear. In the future, I would have expected that it would have said that if a soft copy and a hard copy were submitted, that would eliminate them. Yeah. So, all right.
I think it's stating here where it says the village will accept only hard copy submissions in bold and underlined.
That's right, but it doesn't say
says-
if you send an accompanying soft copy, your
No, but it's
submission will be
saying what we
eliminated.
want. What we want is the hard
Okay.
copies. There you go.
That's all I want, that's right.
Yeah, so,
That's all I want.
Yeah.
But if a soft copy was sent to accompany it, does that disqualify it? And there's where my question lies.
To me, that phrase, "the village will accept only hard copy submissions," will mean that if there is no hard copy, then the submission is not going to be accepted. So you must submit a hard copy.
That's the way I read it too.
And I think that's the only way that this can be. I think we need to be clear in what we do, so that's...
This was not clear.
Staff, corporate officer goes back to his point earlier regarding submissions to an RFP. If an applicant, whether it's a response to an engineering contract RFP, a planning RFP, or an RFP of this nature, if council chooses to take a different path on this, then there is the possibility of litigation.
And
There's
I
no
would say
question,
that-
there's no question
And to
about
me,
that.
corporate officer, there's a possibility of litigation the other way too, because they are submitting a hard copy. They have submitted it only to us. And I have a concern about that. I'm interested only in seeing the hard copies, as is council. But if someone got a soft copy that was a copy of that, does that make it then disqualified? Yes, Councillor Torgerson.
I'm reviewing the actual RFP that went out,
Yes.
and in section 6.2, submission format, the village will accept only hard copy submissions.
Okay. And that's all that we are.
So an electronic copy of a hard copy submission is not only a hard copy submission. Anything that's electronic, accompanied,
Okay.
is clearly
In addition.
not following the RFP.
Okay, that's fine. I'll leave it to the majority vote, and I'm just going to say that I'm uncomfortable with it. Because for today's meeting, what I wanted was for council to meet and for everyone to receive a hard copy. There was nothing specific about sending the CAO a soft copy and a hard copy.
As
To me, that doesn't
clearly outlined in the
disqualify
RFP.
it if the CAO received it. Yes,
The original RFP that was presented to council for
Yes.
review
yes.
included both accepting RFPs in soft copy and hard copy, and
Yes.
council made it clear that we
Yes.
would not accept them in soft copy.
Okay.
They wanted that eliminated.
Yes, Councillor Reimer?
Question. Madam Mayor, how did the instructions go out? By hard copy or by soft copy?
Instructions, they were
in
on,
the RFP?
they
Yeah,
were
for the
posted on
RFP.
BC Bid.
So they were posted electronically?
Yes.
But that's how we advertise.
And, yeah, but what I'm saying is
Yes, it
simply,
is, being specifically,
me.
sorry.
Excuse me, Councillor Reimer was speaking. Okay.
All I'm suggesting is that if they went out electronically in, in our day and age, how we do things, it's too easy to respond electronically. And that does not necessarily mean that the electronic response and the hard copy, if both of those match, then there should be no problem with it. The hard copy, as long as it matches a soft copy if it was presented, should be perfectly acceptable. The idea is that the soft copy would not be played with. That's why you want the hard copy.
And that's why I wanted the hard copies to be presented to the council at a council meeting, rather than a technical soft copy, as you call it. And that's all that I wanted every councillor to receive, a hard copy to be able to read and highlight and judge for themselves what it is, and not to be receiving copies of a soft copy that was sent in. Councillor Salt.
Yeah, and we did clearly eliminate saying that we did not want email versions, soft versions, electronic versions coming to staff, because we did want to sit down together
That's
and open
correct.
them together.
That's correct.
What I would like to propose is, instead of, if this would make everyone happy, or if we can agree, because a hard copy was submitted, I'd like to ask Corporate Officer Young, because a hard copy was submitted, could we possibly just put that one aside, and after evaluating all those that did comply exactly to the RFP process, if we're unhappy with all of those and feel that we would like to review that other one, we still have that option.
Okay. Do you have an answer for that?
My answer is the same as the answer I
Same
gave
answer.
twice
Okay.
earlier.
Okay.
Actually, the council and the village are at risk
Okay.
of litigation.
Okay.
The other thing I should also say is that the RFP that was issued and the points in the RFP, the expectations that were pointed out in that material need to be followed to the letter.
Okay. However, as Councillor Reimer said, what if the soft copy is just a confirmation of what the hard copy is? Does that leave
Yeah,
us
the
open
point-
to litigation?
Yeah, the point that I am
Or
making is
interpretation? Yes.
it is up to the village now, having issued this RFP,
Okay.
to follow the expectations that have been laid out in that request
Okay.
expressly and to the letter. Otherwise, it leaves the village open to litigation.
Okay. And that's been confirmed with legal expertise?
That's.
It's a long-standing practice.
Okay. All right, how about Councillor Salt's suggestion? You see,
If I may,
Okay,
back to
yes.
Councilor Salt's,
yeah,
in answer, we risk litigation.
okay. All right,
Is there-
and yes,
Sorry. There may have been other proponents that would have liked to have responded, but only electronically, so that's where it's.
that would not have been acceptable.
That's where it's saying that it could open us up, just
Yes.
because we have one that's submitted
Yes.
both forms, those other proponents could come back and say, well,
They have invalidated their application.
Okay. All right, and I'll want confirmation of that as well, that it is legally invalid. Okay, and is there any further discussion or comments on this? No? Okay. All in favor then? Carried.
We did have one other eliminator question, because one component that was required in the RFP was to have an individual breakdown of costs. So we felt that that was probably important enough to council.
Which number is that,
That,
please?
on the third page, under cost of services. So if the proposals only include a total, then we felt that that might be an elimination.
Okay, that's number 10, under cost of services?
Correct.
Okay. I think we need to make it clear to council too that none of them need necessarily be selected as well.
This is true. It actually,
Okay.
I don't know if I copied that part
Yeah,
of the.
it should be there.
It's in the RFP, absolutely.
Okay,
It
that's
says
good.
the council has the right to cancel
Yes,
the
yes.
RFP without.
And, all right, I'll have a question later, but it'll be in camera.
Okay.
Okay? So, public comment, notice to proceed in camera. I'll take a motion, please, that council proceed to an in-camera council meeting for...
Just,
Yes?
We have a motion
Yes?
moved by Councilors Blanchette and Torgerson
Yes.
related to the establishment of the assessment criteria, but that has not been adopted.
Oh, yes, we took a vote on it just now. We had a vote on the amendment previously.
We had to vote on the amendment.
That's right?
Yeah.
But I just called for a vote now.
And it was all in favor.
And it was all in favor?
Okay, good.
Okay, you are incorrect. All right, notice to, a motion please to go into in-camera.
Should we receive public comment, if any? Sorry.
Well, it's just the press, okay. Okay, notice to proceed in camera. Motion please, Blanchette and Torgerson. Okay, all in favor? Carried.